But first of all, as you were hearing there in the news, the loophole that allows items such as CDs and DVDs to be sold VAT-free from the Channel Islands, well, all that's going to change next month. Low-value consignment relief is going to fall from the £18 threshold to £15. And what this has meant in the past and up until now is that some companies here can sell goods cheaper than in the UK. Well, Richard Allen is the spokesperson for Ravas, which represents many businesses in the UK who want this tax loophole closed. And he joins me on the line now. Good afternoon.
Hello.
So yes, as I say, you represent many businesses there. What are their views on this?
Well, it's very simple, really. They just want a level playing field, so they don't have to face competitors that are avoiding VAT within the UK market with whom they cannot compete.
Now, when you say a level playing field, what would that mean exactly?
Well, I mean, so that we don't have a situation where people are able to sell goods within the UK without paying VAT. So that UK retailers obviously are obligated to pay VAT. If they don't pay it, then they'll go to prison. It's completely unfair. I mean, anyone looks at it with a reasonable perspective can see that that's not a sustainable situation.
Now, as I was saying there, the threshold is going to fall from £18 to £15 for goods that can be sold VAT-free from the Channel Islands. Will that make a difference to businesses there in the UK you represent?
It will make some difference, but I think everyone acknowledges that that is really a preliminary move to satisfy the fact that the UK government has done nothing to address this issue in 15 years, and I suspect that they did that for legal reasons.
I mean, just how much can businesses there suffer from, as you say, there not being a level playing field? Well,
I mean, it's not uncommon for businesses to have a margin of 20% on a product when they sell it, particularly if it's competitive, and a 20% advantage is an entire margin. It's impossible to compete with people that are selling a product with that kind of head start.
And what sort of goods are we talking about? I've mentioned CDs and DVDs.
I mean, CDs and DVDs get all the news, but the reality is there's anything from seeds, health food, plants, cosmetics, perfumes, gifts, anything you can think of £18 or less in value.
Now, this is seen obviously from the Channel Islands and here in Jersey as well, as it's created jobs here. It's obviously something which is good for the economy here in Jersey, but that's just not being felt for the people you represent.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to see anybody lose their job, but I mean, there are plenty of people in the UK that have lost their jobs and businesses as a result of this arrangement. I mean, for instance, in the music industry, the common myth is that everybody buys downloads, but the reality is that music shifted onto the internet, hard product, and virtually every sale in the UK that's made of CDs on the internet is made from the Channel Islands. It's impossible to compete because the entire industry, mail order industry for music, has moved offshore. That's happening in other areas. I know that memory cards have suffered in the same way. There comes a point where if an advantage runs for a long enough period, all opposition will be wiped out until the only place that can sell the item is the company that's located in the place where there's a 20% advantage. That's just basic economics.
Now, you're spokesperson for Ravas. Tell me a little bit more about what that is as well.
Well, what happened was this went on for so long and so many complaints were made to the UK government over this issue, and it was getting absolutely nowhere that a group of us got together and decided to form our own pressure group and give a voice to those that were having to suffer this situation. And it's been very effective because politicians have paid note to it, and I'm sure it hasn't gone unnoticed that when George Osborne made his announcement in the House of Commons, there was a loud cheer from MPs, and that's because MPs have been bombarded with mail from their constituents who have had to suffer this situation.
It is going down, though. The threshold's going down. Are you going to be lobbying more on this?
Well, in our view, it should be a completely level playing field, and we think it should be removed altogether. I can't see how you can complain of operating on a level playing field. If this relief doesn't have a major influence on the success of your business, then losing it, in theory, shouldn't be a problem. If everybody's competing equally, I can't see why anyone wouldn't support that.
OK, well, thank you for speaking to us this afternoon. That's Richard Allen, who's spokesperson for Ravas, which, as I said, it represents businesses in the UK who would like to see this particular tax loophole closed completely. Right, the time is just